Hi everyone. Guess what? It's Thursday. Title of the week Thursday. Of course, today is actually Monday when I'm recording this because I just finished my tile yesterday. Um, this week's tile. Well, you know all about the story that Sam started making a title week from a book she was gifted, and then we all joined in, and it's going to take 2 years. One tile a week for 2 years. We're halfway done. So. This is tile number 50, 55, is it now? 55 or 56? It is 56. And it's called Annie. And this is what it's supposed to look like. It is a mosaic tile. It is called an overlay mosaic. Overlay mosaic. I I I liked it. I like the inset mosaic. The one the bag that I did for Nan's Next Knots. This was an inset mosaic. This I like to eat the best. This is chain two, skip one, chain two, skip one. And then when you go change your color, it's also crochet, and then you do your double mosaic crochet down into the one that you skipped. It's a stitch that you skipped. It's easy to find. It's right there. Um, in this mosaic, the overlay mosaic, you have to work your single crochets in the back loop only. And then your double mosaic, you work down into that front loop that you skipped. And you have to make sure you grab the right front loop, otherwise it'll be a little crooked. The I finally pulled the page out of Laura's book, Mad Mimi Crochet and Farming, and I made mine out of cotton. And I'm going to use it as a washcloth, like she's doing, because otherwise I got a whole stack of tiles that I don't know what I'm going to do with. So they're going to be washcloths because they're not lacy, they're all closely stitched, no big you know things on it. It's flat, so it'll be a good washcloth. All right, the cotton I used was just cotton, which is um has also has 15% polyester in it, not really just cotton. This was the color Sky. Got it all at the dollar store. This one is the color Blue, and this was the color Cadet. I think this would be Scraps for Lala. And this one was Crafter Secret. That is 100% cotton. That is just cotton, and that's in the color white. So that's what I used, and this is what it looked like. It's called Annie. Can't Annie by a Rosina Plain. That's the no more Katie Moore. Rosina Plain, and this is what it looked like. Um, Again, I this is kind of loaded with mistakes. I didn't like the center square. It looked it looks wonky up in here because as I was doing this, I kept looking at that. That doesn't look right. And actually, this whole section up here it looks doesn't look as nice as it does over on the other corners. And this is the corner where you change the colors. She has you changing colors when you finish your round and you have to slip stitch to close the round. You you pull in the new color and finish the slip stitch with the new color. Then you chain one and work into your corner to start the round. And it just doesn't look as nice as the other corners. It just looks wonky and weird. So I started changing the color in the chain one. I slip stitched in the same color and I changed color in the chain one. It looks a little better, I think, unless I was making mistakes down here. I don't know, but it's a washcloth. It'll be fine. Also, I did make one huge mistake. See, you can't even tell too much. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. This one, see how they're little offset? I missed a double crochet. I missed one. I did 6 instead of 7. So these were off centered because, you know. But see, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't have noticed. Also, I cheated. I know I cheated. She has you going into the corners are chain 2. And instead of working into the chain 2 space like you would normally do, she had you work your first single crochet into the actual chain, first chain. Then you chain 2, and then you work your single crochet into the next actual chain. And I did not like that. It kind of slowed me down. So around round 8 or so, I worked into the spaces. And you can't tell the difference. I thought maybe no, you can't tell the difference. So that's what I did. And it just it went a lot faster than trying to work. And I had to remember to chain really loosely in my corner so I could get into the chain because I'm a tight crocheter, and it's a pain in the neck to work in chains when you're a tight crocheter. So that's how it looks. That's how it came out. Next week will be another mosaic, another overlay mosaic. It's called hand painted, which is kind of cool looking. It's a solid and a variegated color, just the two colors. Designer's Anna Morris Soares. We've had her before. This is going to be 17 rounds. I think this one went the other one. Yeah, this was 20 rounds. This will be 17 rounds, and we'll see how she does her corners and stuff. So, be anxious to find out how this looks. And it's nice because it gives you the chart, so you can look at the graph, whatever it is. So I'm glad I got a chance to do this, and I have done the stitch before. In Sophie's, they have you doing front loop or back loop onlys, and they'll have you a couple of rounds later work down into that missed that the front loop that you back loop only, and they made you work into the front loop. So I have done it before, just as special stitches in another project. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is I'm sure you've all heard of Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. Her duck, her double duck dare. Uh, as you know, now you've all heard of Boggy Creek by now, and people are doing blankets and they're donating them to Boggy Creek. They're sending them to Nancy from She's Got Yarn Too, and Nancy brings them down with Lynnette. And hopefully Billy will go this time. She wasn't able to go last time from Crafty Floridian. They will go and give the blankets to these kids at Boggy Creek, which is a camp for sick kids. Um, they they brought over 300 blankets that were donated by everybody. So they're doing it again this year. Now, Lynnanne, it costs a lot of money to send a blanket through the mail. So Lynnanne had this great idea from Nina's Knots Crochet. She said, "You know how a lot of people love doing granny squares, but they hate sewing them together. She doesn't like doing granny squares, but she loves sewing them together. So she said that if you send her squares, she will sew them together. They have to be 5-inch squares, 5-inch squares, and make sure your ends are sewn in and really good and stuff. So 5-inch squares. They can be knitted. So she said it'd be okay as long as they're 5-inch. Now Laura is this fun, wild-eyed. She gets these ideas in her head, and then she goes and says them, and then she goes, "What was I thinking?" Anyways, she said that if we sent in 17 squares to Lynnanne with a little note saying I was double duck dared by Laura, and she will make 3 grannies to complete, make it an even 20, I guess. She will do 3 grannies. Now, if you insert the words quack quack, she may, or she may not, but she may add another granny square or 2. So you have to make sure that you send your squares 17 or more, and put a note saying that you were double duck dared. Quack, quack, to Lynnanne. Send them to Lynnanne at Nina's Knots Crochet. I will link Lynnanne's channel below. I will link Nancy's channel below in case you want to send a whole blanket. Send it to Nancy. She's got yarn too. Um, and I will link a little video about Boggy Creek. If you haven't heard about Boggy Creek, I will link a video about Boggy Creek. It's a short video. It's really interesting. Um, and that's it. I think that's all I had to say. So send your squares. Start knitting. Start crocheting granny squares. 5 inch, 5 inch squares. Send them to Lynnanne. Make sure you close that note. 17 squares. La will make the other 3. Because she's an odd duck. Her words. Um, that's it for today. That's all I have for you. I already showed you my pumpkin hat last week, so it's Tuesday tomorrow for me. I'll get the new hat tomorrow for me. And I'm just working on JoJo's new amigurumi. She made a leggy froggy, which whoops, that's Red Sox. Now she's working on another leggy, and I've got to work on that today and try and finish that. And her pattern will be coming out in September for another leggy, not a froggy, it's a spider. That'll come up in end of September. Or beginning of September, I'm sorry. Beginning of September. It should be coming out by then. She'll have a tutorial and everything on it. So, and okay, that's it. That's all for today. Have a good day, everyone, and thanks for watching. Bye.